It's a good point. And I just said to the players after the game now, we need a little bit of consistency. You know, we've picked up 4 points out of a possible 9 in the last 3, and we've just got to make sure that we show a little bit of arrogance within ourselves, and that's something that we should be expecting to do sort of going forward, whether it's winning games or whether it's drawing games.
Louise, you guys didn't have Christy Mewis today. Did you feel like you had to take on more responsibility to be connective in the midfield and maybe find Steph McCaffrey a little more?
I mean, I've been playing number 10 before, and that's kind of my role. I can play on the wing as well. Of course, she's a good player, we miss her, but I just played my game, I guess.
Certainly did.
Coach, it seemed like both you and Coach Cabrera were having difficulty communicating with the refs and getting integrity out of their officiating.
What do you mean integrity?
It just seemed like there was a lot of confusion on why some inconsistency in calls and even with the substitution that they almost put in before your non.
Look, to be fair, like Mike, the official, it was a mistake from him when he held his hands up. Look, it is what it is, isn't it? I'm not going to get myself in trouble, get myself a fine. You know, I think everyone can see, especially the decision right at the death there with McCall was a penalty. She's got 2 stud marks down, you know, her leg. But the referee, for whatever reason, didn't give the decision. That's her opinion, so we have to respect that. I actually thought she done okay first half. I think that decision with Steph McCaffrey right at the start of the half, I think that sort of affected her performance in the second half. But as I say, look, if things happen, people are human, they make mistakes, and you know, I can vouch for that. So like, I've got no qualms. It's a difficult job being an official. So you know, we just have to respect their decisions, and we have to get on with it.
How is Eunice's fitness level in transition with the Breakers right now?
Yeah, she's getting there. Of course, she had 2 weeks without club training when her contract expired at Bayern while we was getting her visa. You know, look, the biggest learning curve for me is how quick the game is out here, especially transition-wise. And you know, it's going to take her time to bed in and settle in. But I felt against New York, she come off the bench and done okay. You know, we had to bring her on sooner than what we anticipated with obviously Christie's injury. And I felt tonight we got a sort of good 60-65 minutes under our belt, which will put her in good stead going forward and over the next few games.
Coach, you wrote an open letter to fans before the game. What prompted this?
I just wanted to thank you all because 2 reasons. One, obviously I was disappointed with the way we played at New York, especially when we went 2-0 down. But the support that I've had since I've been here personally from the supporters and you know from the club has been fantastic. And my message was that you know we will turn our season round. You know, I think you can see in our recent performances that, and even the ones before, you know, we're starting to pick points up. You know, the whole point was to let them know that we are determined to turn our season round and we want to climb the league table. And I just wanted to thank everyone for their support and patience with this process that I'm going through at the moment, because it is, I've never been involved in a league like it. You know, from a transition point of view, sometimes it's like watching a game of tennis. The ball's there, and it's there, and it's there, and you know that's been probably one of my biggest learning curves. You don't, until you're in it, you don't know.
Louise, did you have any kind of preconceived idea where you wanted to shoot the ball against her, or did you have an idea where she might move?
Penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a plan. I mean, I wanted to dribble her to one post and get it to the other. It's my plan.
But, you know, with trying to turn your season around, I mean, your position on the table leading into the mid part of the season, are you going to be looking to making significant changes in your game plan, or is it just keep track and know that it's going to work?
I don't necessarily think our game plans haven't worked. You know, we've just lacked at times a little belief. I think, especially in the final third, where we've created some real good goal scoring opportunities, and we've either snatched at it or we've, you know, not just been composed with a finish. But coming into this job, I knew it would be tough. Coming into a new country and a new league, for me, was always going to be difficult. You know, I'm not. I want to win things. I'm not here just to make numbers up. And you know, wherever I've been, I've got a good track record of doing that. So you know, from my perspective, all I can ask for the players is to do you know, I asked them to do on the pitch, and I think tonight we've done that. I think we frustrated Washington, especially how quickly they go from back to front, and I think that worked for us. But the big thing for the players is just to believe now. We've at times outplayed some of the so-called best teams in the country for periods of games, but for me it's the consistency thing, and doing it from the first whistle to the last whistle, and you know, just being honest. And I can't fault the group for that, if I'm honest. And I know as we go, we're going to get better, we're going to get stronger, and we'll climb the table.
What changes defensively did you make going from the first game of the season to this game against the Spirit to help better contain the Spirit's offense?
We've had to adapt as we've gone. You know, obviously we've gone from a 4-3-3 to a 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it. You know, I think out here it's important to try and dominate the central area of the pitch because of the transition, and I felt at times in the 4-2-3-1 we was too open. I feel in this system where we're not as open, we can contain them a little bit better, but it also prevents team playing for us centrally. So you know, that's something that we've identified, and you know, and it's worked for us so far.
Coach, crystal dawn is always a interesting part of an equation to solve. You went into this with a specific game plan to contain her, or did it all come out of formation?
We don't really single any players out. Of course, there's players that are going to be dangerous. I think if you show someone too much respect, then you know, then they're going to probably get the upper hand on you. We had a plan for Crystal. She's difficult to mark because she can play off both feet. Look at the assist for the goal for Lohman against Portland. You know, she's under pressure, she's cutting and whips it in with her left foot, and Joe got on the end of it. So we had a plan, but we didn't pay too much attention to that. We just went into a little bit of detail with Molly and with Cassie out on that side, and the screening midfield player just to try and contain and stop her getting at us, and I think it worked quite well for us tonight.
Louise, from a player standpoint, how would you rate tonight's game from all the players?
I mean, in the end, we just need points. We got 1 point. We could have a victory, but I think we had more possession today and we had more chances. And we just need to score more goals and get more points.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Louise.